talk about the work, what you were wanting and what you saw.
Well, we wanted to go about a minute, right around a minute flat, and that's what we got. So I really liked the way he worked today. I liked the way he galloped out, and I liked the way he came back to the barn. It doesn't always work according to plan, but this morning it did. He came back, like he's just gone out for a little gallop, and he wasn't breathing too hard, and drank his water and cooling out really good.
I remember talking to you heading into the 2009 Preakness, doing a story sort of on New Mexico racing, because mine that bird had just shocked the world and won the Kentucky Derby. That put things in perspective, saying you got a horse that can bred to go the distance, it's doing well, and you get lucky, magic can happen.
We got to get lucky, for sure. It takes, even a good horse has to have, some luck in this race, 20 head in the gate. But, if we get there and we're in the gate when they, when it's time, then we have a shot. So but we're very happy with the horse. He's doing well. Is he good enough? I don't know, but we might get the chance to find out.
He wasn't nominated originally, so because there was just no expectation.
No, you always have that in the back of your mind, but we weren't pointing towards the Kentucky Derby. No, the first time I really thought we might have an outside shot is a few days before the Sunland Derby. I just really liked the way he was doing, and I'd never thought about it, and it just hit me, and I thought, man, this is going to mess things up if we have to go out there. But you just don't think about it with a horse bred in Texas that starts his first start in Zia Park, and you hope, but it didn't really part of the equation at that time.
Well, would you have been? What would you have been pointing for if the Derby wasn't out here? Is there something at Lone Star like?
Yeah.
They had the Texas Derby.
They just ran some stakes races at Lone Star, but yeah, that would have been he's eligible to be a Texas bred, so we would have probably gone and tried Texas. And he may end up in Texas, and there's races in New Mexico. We still have some stakes races throughout the year, but we'd much rather go east.
When you brought Blaine here for the Oaks a few years ago, was that your first time at Churchill, or did you have some history here before that?
No, that was the first horse I brought to Churchill, and first time I'd been to Churchill, period. And she went on to win a graded stake and do very well, and I think she had a shot. She was the real deal. We had a small little injury that decided not to run and take care of it, and she wasn't off very long and came back. Mr. Massey sent her to Belmont, and she did, had a good career, and now she's a mom and just had a foal a couple of weeks ago, I believe.
When you go through something like that, I know it was the Oaks, not the Derby, but is that kind of like, that was my chance, or?
That was my Derby. I thought, come all this way and do everything, and then you get right up to it, and it just slaps you in the face. And that's how this game is, it's feast or famine, and it just didn't work out. But she got all right, and it wasn't a big deal, but it was a big deal. It kept us from running, so.
Yeah. Wait, you watched the Derby last year with Rich Strike, and what were you thinking watching that? Did you think, what's in my shed row?
Well, you think it can happen to anybody. Rich Strike he figured. He was a nice horse. He had, if he hadn't had the pace in the previous races and had come at him, but just couldn't get there, and, but ran well, and then they blistered around there, and he just took advantage of it, and what a story. Get in at the last second when Lucas scratches his horse, and that's amazing, and that made everybody think, well, anything can happen.